Hey everybody, this is Andre Infante, and this is a quick demo of my language model game, Lords and Language Models. If you remember AI Dungeon from back in the day, this is kind of a similar concept, but it's played using the native voice models that OpenAI provides, and there's some kind of cool tool integrations to mix more of the rigid, structured game elements back into all of the loosey-goosey neural network nonsense. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a character, and we'll play for a few minutes, and you can kind of get a sense of what the game is and how it works. So let's be John Rambo, soldier for our class. We're not going to be very smart. We're going to have a lot of toughness and swiftness, but absolutely no magic. So instead of spells, we're going to have a vanish into the jungle, and we're going to have a machine gun barrage. And for inventory, I think we should have some money. Backpack and bedroll. Knife makes sense. He probably doesn't have a healing potion, nor a spell book, nor a wand. But he does probably have AK-47. And let's say head bandana. And then the bio can kind of be anything, because this is all just grift for the language model. So what we're going to do here is let's do something like okay. So let's go ahead and finish our character. And so if we go over here to the character screen, you can see we've got all of this information, and this will be updated as we go. Cool. Let's start playing.
You find yourself in the Lantern and Laurel Inn, the air thick with the scent of wood smoke and stew. Rain taps against the windows as tired villagers murmur by the hearth. A bounty notice hangs on the wall, offering a hefty sum for ending the reign of the vampire lord up in Castle Vesper. A somber guard captain eyes you from a corner. What do?
So obviously we're doing here kind of a almost like a Castle Bloodkeep thing. But yeah, so let's play the game. I walk up to the bar. How much for a room?
The innkeeper, Lysa Thorne, looks up from polishing a mug. A room for the night? That'll be 5 silver, soldier. Comes with a meal and a dry bed. She glances at your gear. Looking to stay long, or just passing through?
Just passing through. I hand her the money.
Lysa nods, taking the coins and sliding a key across the counter. Rooms upstairs, second on the left. If you've a mind for more than rest, word is the forest hasn't been kind to travelers lately. She leans in slightly. Plenty of stories if you're curious.
Who should I talk to about that?
Lysa gestures toward the guard captain. Captain Merrick over there is the one posting bounties and looking for folks to help. If you're heading near that cursed castle, you might want to speak with him. She smirks. And watch yourself out there.
I pick up the key.
You pocket the key, feeling the weight of a temporary safe haven. The guard captain still keeping an eye on you from across the room, his expression a mix of curiosity and caution. The fire crackles, and the rain doesn't let up outside.
As you can see, there's some bugs with like the user transcription and stuff, but you know, try to ignore that. I'd like to walk over to the guard captain and sort of subtly flex and try to evaluate if I think I'm bigger than him.
You casually approach the guard captain, your frame towering with the hardened muscle of a soldier. Captain Merrick is tough but leaner, his armor showing signs of wear. He sizes you up with a respectful nod. You're definitely bigger and more imposing.
Yeah. I walk up to him and I say, hey, Merrick, the lady at the bar said that you guys were having some kind of trouble up by the castle.
Merrick exhales slowly, nodding. That's right. The vampire lord's grown bolder. Hunters gone missing, beasts prowling the woods at night. He leans forward. We posted a bounty for anyone brave enough to seek out Castle Vesper and end that nightmare. You look like you can handle yourself. Interested?
Yeah, I've been around the block a few times. You paying?
Merrick cracks a tired grin. 10,000 silver for proof of the vampire lord's end. But I'll pay for smaller favors too. There's a hunter named Ilka who hasn't returned from scouting near the cliffs. Find her, or what's left, and you'll earn your first cut of silver.
Yeah, I can do that.
Merrick nods in appreciation. Good. She was last seen heading towards the woods below the castle. If you've got a sharp eye or a good sense for tracks, that'll help. He straightens up. Come back to me with news, and watch your back out there. The forest path awaits beyond the safety of the inn's walls.
I head outside into the rain and head up into the forest looking for tracks. And so here it has me roll a survival check, and that just kind of happens automatically on the back end using the tool calling system.
You push into the dark forest, but the rains washed away most tracks. The undergrowth is thick and the path unclear. You've lost any immediate sign of the hunter. The woods grow darker as you go. What's your next move?
It sounded like probably she was taken by something related to the castle, so I'm going to start moving towards the castle and see if I can pick up a sign of her.
You press on toward the looming shape of the castle on the cliffs, the path winding through the dark trees. The rain's easing a bit, and you start to hear the distant howl of wolves echoing through the trees. The castle's still a ways off, but the tension's growing as you move deeper into the forest. Keep your eyes and ears open. There's danger in every shadow now.
I squint at the towering trees, and I put my bandana on, and I say, my god, it's just like Saigon.
You tie the bandana tight, the familiar ritual sharpening your senses. The forest ahead is thick and alive with unseen threats, just like old times in the jungle. The path toward the castle winds upward through the dark woods. If Ilka's trail is anywhere, it'll be closer to the cliffs or the castle perimeter. The rain's lighter now. Time to push on.
I check the cliffs first.
You move carefully toward the rising cliffs, the rocky slopes slick with rain. The wind picks up as you near the base, carrying a faint scent of something metallic, blood perhaps, or rust. You notice a few broken branches and disturbed earth near the cliff base. Something or someone passed through here recently. You're on the right track now.
I would like to take out my AK-47 and light a torch to see if it helps me see better, and then I'd like to look for tracks again.
The torchlight flickers against the wet rock and twisted trees, but the ground's too churned up by rain and wind to reveal clear tracks. You've lost the trail again, but the cliffs loom overhead. There might be signs of movement higher up or along the cliff face. The wolves' howls echo closer, though. Time is ticking.
I would like to try calling, "Hey, Ilka! Ilka, are you there?"
Your shout echoes off the cliffs and through the trees, but there's no immediate answer, just the distant rumble of thunder and the soft patter of rain. The forest remains eerily quiet after your call, but you get the sense that something or someone may have heard you. Better keep your guard up.
Can I tell which direction the metallic smell is coming from?
The metallic scent seems strongest toward a narrow path that winds up the cliffside. It's faint, but definitely stronger in that direction. Could be blood or rust from old iron fixtures embedded in the cliff. Either way, it's your best lead right now.
I will walk up that narrow cliff path, keeping my AK ready.
You climb the narrow path, AK at the ready. The scent grows stronger as you ascend, mingling with the earth and rain. After a few careful steps, you spot something ahead. A torn scrap of cloth caught on a jagged rock, stained dark in the torchlight. You might be getting close to signs of Ilka, or something worse.
Yeah, I keep moving up the cliff path, but I'm ready for something to jump out at me.
You move upward, the torch casting long shadows on the cliff face. The path narrows further, forcing you to tread carefully. The scent of blood is stronger now, and ahead you glimpse what looks like a small clearing carved into the rock wall, maybe an old lookout. Whatever's waiting, you're nearly on top of it.
I approach carefully. Ilka.
As you step into the clearing, your torch reveals a dark figure slumped against the rock wall. It's a woman, bloodied and unconscious but breathing. Ilka by the looks of it. She's wounded but still alive. The scent of blood is thick here, and you hear branches breaking in the distance. Something's been hunting her, and now it might be hunting you.
Can I roll some kind of like first aid or medicine check to see if I can stabilize her?
You quickly
Hey, passed one. Sorry, go ahead.
You quickly tear a piece of cloth and wrap her wound, stopping the bleeding. Her breathing steadies, and she stirs slightly, though she's still unconscious. You've stabilized her, but you're not alone out here. The breaking branches are getting closer. It sounds like wolves closing in on the scent of blood. What's your next move?
Is there anything nearby that I could hide behind?
There's a cluster of jagged rocks jutting out from the cliffside, and some low shrubs along the edge of the clearing. You could try to take cover behind those rocks or crouch low in the bushes. It won't be perfect cover, but it could give you a moment's advantage if something dangerous is approaching.
I would like to hide in the bushes with my AK out after extinguishing the torch, and then wait for the wolves.
You crouch low in the bushes, but your foot slips on the wet ground, sending loose stones tumbling down the path. The noise echoes through the clearing, and you hear a low growl as a pair of glowing eyes emerge from the darkness. Wolves, teeth bared, now locked onto your position. They're ready to attack.
I say, fuck it, and then I open fire on them with my machine gun.
Your burst of gunfire rips through the clearing, hitting one wolf square and sending it yelping back, wounded but not down. The other lunges forward, snarling and ready to strike. Here they come.
Okay.
The wolf leaps at you but slips on the wet rocks, missing its mark. It's still snarling, circling you for another attack. The wounded wolf is still struggling but not out of the fight. What's your next move?
Can I grab the one that slipped and try to just huck it off the cliff?
You grab the wolf by its scruff and with a surge of strength, hurl it off the edge of the cliff. You hear its yelp fade into the darkness below. That leaves one wounded wolf still growling and trying to regain its footing. You've evened the odds. What do you do now?
I would like to take out my AK and fire on the injured wolf.
With a precise burst of gunfire, you finish off the wounded wolf. It collapses instantly. The clearing falls silent except for the distant echo of the shots and Ilka's faint breathing. The immediate threat is gone. You've got a moment to breathe and decide your next move.
I am going to pick up Ilka and start jogging back towards town.
You hoist Ilka onto your shoulder, her weight manageable despite her injuries. The rain picks up slightly as you move back down the path, away from the cliffs and deeper into the forest. The road back to town is still a trek away, and night's fully settled in. But you've got her, and that's what matters. You move quickly, the town's warm lights somewhere ahead through the dark trees.
Okay, we'll stop it there. Obviously, you could keep going if you wanted to, and there's like a whole, basically mini D&D module on the back end that it's using to sort of like set up these encounters and stuff. So like if you go to the castle, there's like specific areas and specific things you have to do and like key collection and all of that. But you can kind of see the mechanics here and how it works. And it's remarkably good about like improvising around player choices. And the tool calling is surprisingly reliable. Like you can see that it's sort of picking relevant skills and it's making you roll dice at like appropriate places, and then it's actually respecting the results of those dice rolls and mechanics changes, which is really important because like the raw model has a tendency to err on the side of like pleasing the player whenever possible. So you really need those more rigid game elements if you want to have any sort of challenge to it. But yeah, that's Lords and Language Models.